was an accounting approval system that was built by accountants for accountants. And so when we sat down and redesigned that RFS workflow system and we were designing our new Easby platform, we took the user experience and the user interface into consideration in the design.
And there's a story you shared before about someone telling you your baby is ugly. Can you walk us through what happened and what it taught you about innovation and leadership?
I had a long-term client. We were working with her in helping her company really scale, grow. We were able to help them secure $8 million of venture capital, and they launched their product, and they were in the process of transitioning from their old product to their new product. During that transition, I think she had to accept that her old product had a lot of fatal flaws to it, and that new product that they were rolling out had to look good and it had to deliver on what the brand promise was. What RFS Workflow has done or did for years was it delivered on the mechanics of the accounting, the mechanics of the workflow and approval process, but it didn't look great. It was an accounting approval system that was built by accountants for accountants. And we had put a new user interface on it that looked pretty slick to me. And I showed it to this client and she told me, "Your baby's ugly." And it was a little bit of a jolt to me, because compared to what it was to what that new interface looked like to me, it looked much better. But at the end of the day, it wasn't easy for clients to use, and it didn't have the look and feel of a modern tech stack. And so when we sat down and redesigned that RFS workflow system and we were designing our new Easby platform, we took the user experience and the user interface into consideration in the design. And that's something that continues to evolve as the other softwares that people use evolve and become easier to use. The expectation is that the accounting software has to be easier to use as well. And that's part of why we branded our solution Easby, is to keep us focused from a brand promise perspective on everything that we do has to make accounting and finance easier for our clients and for our staff. And in doing that, we can provide more and better value for them.
Looking back, what would you say was the turning point in your decision to rebuild instead of patch what was already working in Easby?
We had started a 2-year program to allow our workers to work remotely. We were a shared service center model where we had about 60, 70 people all reporting to 11,000 square feet in Rockville, Maryland. And we had some high performers that were looking to and planned on moving out of the DC area. And so this goes back into, I would say, about 2017, around that time frame. We said, yes, we want to keep these high performers, and we built a 2-year plan to convert all of our systems to allow for our high performers to move away and still remain connected to the firm. And so we had started that process, and we finished the last of the major steps. In February of 2020, we converted our Microsoft to Microsoft 365, which put our entire internal tech stack in the cloud. We had already moved to a IP-based phone system, and then COVID hit in March of 2020. So we were prepared, and essentially when the shutdown occurred, we told everyone on Friday to come in, pick up an extra monitor and a cable. We sent everyone home, and on Monday reopened, and we didn't miss a step. At the same time we were going through that transition, we completed the acquisition of a smaller accounting outsourcing firm. They had about 20 to 25 clients. And as soon as we got through supporting our clients through the PPP, we looked at integration of those 20 to 25 clients into RFS Workflow. Essentially, we didn't have a scalable system. So RFS Workflow was not a scalable system. We couldn't convert clients rapidly and get them onboarded. And so that was the turning point for us, was just understanding that we need to be able to plug clients in a rapid basis in order to have a scalable platform.
What would you say to other leaders who fear discomfort, criticism for change?
Leadership is about getting people to accomplish more than they thought they could on their own. And I think that's all part of leadership. There are two options. The change is happening. I think we're living in a time period where accelerating change. And so we all need to get comfortable being in an environment of change. That's going to happen regardless. I think the real answer to that question is, what's the North Star of the organization? Where are you trying to get to? And in mapping out what you're trying to get to will determine what changes you need to implement in order to achieve that objective. And so for me, and for the decision to re-platform, became clear that we weren't going to be able to scale and deliver the value that we wanted to our clients, and that our North Star was not going to be achievable in the old platform. So there was no other option for us other than to re-platform. Now, how do you actually accomplish that change? That took us 3+ years to map it out and to identify the team, the organizational structure, the design, and then to build it, and then to take our clients through that journey with us. And so that was a major effort. And I would just say having a strong team that's bought into the North Star and the vision, and that are going to go through the journey with you, is, I think, it's a critical component to the success of any major endeavor like that. It was a major investment, but having the buy-in of the team is critical.
What's next for Easby? Next coming 5 years, 2 years, 10 years?
So our North Star currently is 85% automation by 2030. And right now we're at about 40% automation. And we have a lot of work to do to get to that 85%. Now, the great news is we are in a vibrant platform. We built RFS workflow into the Easby solution, and that Easby solution is built on Appian, which is a world-class automation platform that has 15 AI skills built into it. We're in the process of turning on those 15 AI skills in our system, and that essentially is a workflow engine. At its core is a workflow engine. If you think about what everyone's been talking about in recent months, is about agentic AI being able to manage processes for companies with limited human involvement. And really, what does that really mean? It means electronic workflows with agentic AI capabilities built into that electronic workflow. And so we have 20 years of electronic workflow experience. We have years of building machine learning into our workflows. We've had this past year of building agentic AI into Easby. We are rolling out our financial management module with our existing client base, and that financial management module is being integrated into agentic AI models. And by the end of this year, we'll have the ability for our clients to really chat with their financial statements, their balance sheet, their income statement. They'll be able to also chat with the advanced KPIs. We'll be able to create customized KPIs that really explain the financial performance of the organization. And then for non-financial professionals, they'll be able to ask questions through an LLM, and that will give them a chat GPT-like experience with their own financial information. Appian's providing the data security, and then we already have that data governance built into our electronic workflow solution.